Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back for episode 8 of FTB Infinity Evolved. Last episode we were working on an automated ore doubling system. We made ourselves the rock crusher and the redstone furnace, and since the end of last episode I have tweaked this setup ever so slightly. All I've done is I've moved the redstone furnace and the chest down one block from where they were before, because the way we had it set up previously, some of the crushed ore coming out of the rock crusher was going to get thrown on the floor, because what would likely have happened is the rock crusher would have finished crushing up something like iron, for instance, sent it through to the redstone furnace, at which point it would start crushing up something like gold, and then when the gold was sent through the wooden pipe here to the redstone furnace, if the redstone furnace hadn't fully finished smelting up the iron, that gold would just get thrown onto the floor and then probably despawn after about 5 minutes. So we have this little buffer here in the form of a hopper. If we get too many ores coming through and we fill up this hopper, we might have to invest in putting a chest on top of the hopper, but that's not too big of a deal. We can go and do that if that situation does arise, but that is not what I'm going to do today, because today we're going to work on a renewable source of power, because people in the comment section did remind me after last episode that we do have immersive engineering installed, which of course means that we have the water wheel. Now the water wheel, for those who don't know, is a way of passively generating power using water. The water just pushes the wheel round and passively generates power. Now, it doesn't produce a ton of power, approximately 30 per wheel, but you can have up to 3 wheels in a wheel, which makes no sense if you haven't seen this in action before, but if you've seen one of these before, you know exactly what I mean, and if you wait to the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what I mean as well. But basically, a setup of 3 water wheels can produce about 90 redstone flux per tick, and of course you can have as many water wheels as you like if you have enough resources to make them, and that's where the kind of tricky part comes in, because these things, while not extremely hard to make, can be a little tricky and especially a little bit time consuming because of these water wheel segments that we'll get to in a second. The first thing is this guy in the middle, the iron shaft. This thing is fairly easy to make. It just requires a block of iron in the metal former in extruding mode. However, the hard bit is the water wheel segment, as this requires some treated wood and some treated sticks, which are of course made using creosote oil, which is a byproduct of turning coal into coal coke in the coke oven, a process that is very, very, very slow, much like the blast furnace we have in the background there. Now, if we look over here, the coal coke oven, you can see this is what it does. It takes 1800 ticks to turn one piece of coal into one piece of coal coke, and you get 500 millibuckets of creosote oil. You need 1,000 to get 1 bucket's worth, and you need 1 bucket's worth to make the 8 of these planks. Now, thankfully, a little while back, whilst we were in a mine shaft, we found quite a bit of creosote oil in a minecart, so we have 10 remaining right now, which is pretty cool. Nevertheless, I thought it would be a good idea for us to make a coal coke oven anyway, because it means that we can make more than 1 water wheel, and also we don't have to rely on this 10 creosote for all of our creosote needs throughout the entirety of forever. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit more fuel in here, because if my calculations serve me right, I think we need 48 bricks in order to actually make the full coke oven. And I say that because we do already have a little bit of, or a couple, should I say, of coke oven bricks over here. I did make these a little while back. I actually made them a few episodes ago. I thought I had enough to make a full coke oven, but you actually only make these blocks 1 at a time, unlike the blast furnace where you make them 2 at a time. So I didn't have quite as many as I thought I had. So we need to make them again. I got some sand, got to make myself some brick, and so we should be able to do something like that. Nice. Now, if again I'm not mistaken, I think we need 26 of those. Wow, we still don't have enough. That's fine. We've got quite a bit more sand. I say quite a bit. We've got a little bit more sand and a little bit more brick. I will let those do their thing. Whilst they're doing that, let's go ahead and turn all of this birch wood into planks, and then let's use those planks to make approximately 10 sets, or exactly 10 sets of treated wood, like so, which gets us about 80, and then we can actually go ahead and use that, I think, again, if my calculations are right, to make 2 water wheels. Now, I would like to have a third by the end of today's episode, if possible, if we can get the coal coke oven up and running, and if it's not super duper duper slow, which it kind of is, but I'm hoping it's not going to be too bad. Anyway, let's go ahead and just make a ton of these sticks, and then we can use those sticks to make the water wheel segments, and at which point we can go ahead and make a bunch of those. And 8 gets us 1. So if I'm not mistaken, we had 16 there, right? I think so. 16 into sticks, and then those into water wheel segments, And there we go, 16 of those, and that gets us enough for 2 water wheels. Of course, at this point, all we need now is the iron shaft, which is made in the metal farmer, which is all the way back at our old base, which leads me to another point that I want to cover in this episode, and that is the dolly. So, I've said over the last few episodes that I'm not going to move the industrial craft machines because there is a chance they will break, and they took quite a long time to make, and I don't have to go through the process of making them all over again. But, as quite a few people in the comment section have pointed out, we can use the dolly to actually move those machines. Up until now, the reason I haven't done it is because the dolly is pretty expensive. It requires 2 weighted pressure plates, which are fairly easy to make. It's just 2 iron. A barrel, which again is fairly easy to make. And also something that I think we will be making quite a bit of later on in today's episode, because I do want to start moving some of my storage into barrels. But the hard part about this recipe is the reinforced wheels from Steve's Carts 2. These require 4 iron and 1 reinforced metal, which is made by smelting a stabilized metal chunk, which is made using some iron, 3 of these refined hardeners, and a hardened mesh, which is made using iron bars and refined hardeners again. And these refined hardeners are where the hard bit comes in, because these are made by smelting more hardener, which is made using some obsidian and a diamond. We need 7 of these, which means 4 sets of these, which isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's only 4 diamonds and 16 obsidian. And if we look over here, I'm not quite sure how much obsidian we have. We have 14, which is just my luck. It means that we're a little bit off on the amount of obsidian that we need. So, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to quickly run down into the mines, go find my little source of obsidian, grab 2 obsidian, come back up here to make the dolly, at which point, hopefully, this will be finished as well. Actually, it's already done. Let's quickly go ahead and see if we can get this cook oven up and running, because that would make life a lot easier in terms of how long we're going to have to wait for our extra creosote. So we'll take the extra 2 of those. It's exactly the same as the blast furnace over here. It is a 3x3x3 with a hollow center. I don't know. And also, by the way, these little glowstone nooks here are fantastic. Though I'm using to light up the whole of this dome, because without them, the dome is very, very dark. But I'm hoping you can build these right next to each other. I'm not quite sure if you can, if it's going to, like, work or not, but we can find out. Here we go. Put you there. Connect all that up. And then finally, all we need to do is grab our... Oh, it worked. What? Usually you have to grab the hammer from Immersive Engineering for this to work, but it seems to have done that for us. That is pretty cool. We did make the one from Railcraft as opposed to the one from Immersive Engineering. I'm hoping that's not a terrible idea, and it wasn't that bad of an idea, but it probably would have been easier to make the other version, because this one just requires some sandstone. It requires a lot more clay. 8, but you get 2. So, I mean, I guess it was actually about the same. It probably cost a little bit less sand doing it this way, but that's fine. We've already done it this way. It's fine. So, all we need to do now is grab a little bit of coal coke. I say coal coke, a little bit of normal coal that we're going to turn into coal coke inside of this guy over here. Like so, boom, and basically I'm going to let this thing run for a while. I'm going to go get some obsidian, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so a little while later, we now have 6 more obsidian, and I went down into this mine here, my kind of default mine that we started right at the beginning of the series, to get that obsidian, and I decided that before we head back to our new dome base, I might as well actually start making the iron shafts in this metal farmer here before we move it over there, because it's just going to save a little bit of time. So, all we need to do is go ahead and again, try crafting on the floor. It did kind of cause a bit of a crash last time. I'm hoping the same doesn't happen again. We're getting a little bit of lag and also a little bit of a pig in our way as well, but that's fine. Let's just go ahead and do something like that. Hopefully that will fill in just nicely, and there we go. Craft. There we go. Okay, wow. The lag is real right now. Let me put that back in there. We want that one to be on extruding mode, which is that one right there. That should work just fine. Cool stuff. We'll do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. And there we go. Nice. All right, let's put a little... Actually, that fuel should be fine. Okay, let's head back to base so we can make ourselves the dolly. And a little while later, now that we're back at base, we should be able to make ourselves a dolly. So, let's go ahead and start by making the barrel, which is just a bunch of logs, any kind you like, with a chest and a slab, and we can do that fairly easily by making a chest. Although I do think we have a few chests over there. It's not too difficult to make another set, really. Let's go ahead and grab that, and then if we go boom, boom, And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got ourselves a barrel from Jabber. And then all we gotta do from there is go ahead and make ourselves 2 weighted pressure plates, grab ourselves 2 sticks, which is probably the easiest part of this equation, and then finally make the reinforced wheels, which is mostly just making this guy, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. So we'll make a bunch of iron bars. We will then go ahead and make quite a few of these. By quite a few, I mean 8. And then we will go ahead and combine all of those up together to hopefully make ourselves that, which apparently I need to do by hand. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 4 in the middle. No? What? What did I do wrong? Oh, we need to smelt them first, don't we? Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and smelt these real quick. And once those are done, boom. And boom, we should now be able to go ahead and do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 with the iron bars in the middle. That gets us the hardened mesh. And then we can go ahead and combine all of those up with the other stuff, like so, to make ourselves 5 of these. I'm quite glad that you get 5 of them, although I have no idea what I'm going to use the other 4 for in the future. I assume we could probably use this metal for other stuff, like making upgrades, I guess, as well as upgrades, I guess. Oh, actually, we can use them to make woodcutters and thermal generators and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. Let's grab you. Let's surround. Did I grab that? Oh my god, the lag. I need to restart the server. Let's grab that. Then let's go ahead and what is going on? I grabbed it. Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We will then take this. We will then go boom, boom, boom. And we got ourselves a dolly. Nice. So all we gotta do now is go backwards and forwards a couple of times. And also, people did point out that you can just right-click on this garage door instead of actually using the lever. So we can probably get rid of that actually at this point. But basically, all we gotta do now is run backwards and forwards. All you have to do, by the way, to pick up a machine or anything really with the barrel holder, the dolly here, is just simply right-click with it. It is from Jabber. It was mainly used originally to move barrels around that were full of stuff. But they do also work on other things, such as these machines over here. So all we gotta do is right click on one of our existing machines. That should pick it up, at which point we can then run it over to our current base. We might move a little bit slower whilst we have it in our inventory, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Let's see if we can pick up the compressor here real quick without breaking it. Would be the best solution, or the best outcome, I guess. So let's see, right click. Hey, and we picked it up. So you'll see now we do move slower. We do have the mining fatigue and slowness debuffs, but we are carrying it and we can put it back down anywhere we like so. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to pick all of these up, carry them all the way over to our new base, and I'll be back in a second. We also have the shaft. And a little while later, we have successfully moved all of our industrial craft machines to the new base. Nice. So, if we go and look over in our cook oven again, we should have quite a few buckets worth of creosote. We have 7. I'm going to stop this for now, because I don't want to waste all of our coal. And although we can use coal coke as a fuel for other stuff as well, I would like to keep some of our normal coal, just in case we need to, like, pulverize it or grind it down or anything like that. And I think 7 buckets should be enough for now. I think 4 buckets is enough to get us 1 water wheel. So if we head on back over to here, I did restart the server, so hopefully the lag is a little bit better than it was before. And that should get us quite a bit of treated wood. So we'll do this again, and I will make 4 more sets of this, of which we have figured out that 16 need to be turned into sticks, like so, and then the rest should be used to make the segments. That gets us not quite enough. Let me make 1 more set of this treated wood. It might take... Oh, no, we needed 5, didn't we? Yeah, because we had 10 originally. We made 10 sets. We just made 4 more. We need 5. So 5 sets makes 1 water wheel. That makes sense. Okay, let's go ahead and make the rest of those segments, like so. And then we can go ahead and do this. We, of course, do need 1 more of those iron shafts. But now that we have our friend, the metal farmer, over here, it is much easier for us to do that. So all we gotta do is throw you in there. I think the generator retained its fuel levels. It does, which is kind of cool. We'll also go ahead and burn up those slabs, because I don't really need them for anything else. And then once this is done, which it is, we can go ahead and make ourselves 3 water wheels. Nice. Now, if I remember correctly, those 3 water wheels should produce about 90 redstone flux per tick at max speed, which is kind of cool, considering that it is free generated power that will just continue going forever. Now, I had a hard time before this episode started deciding where I was going to put this water wheel, and I kind of still don't know because I don't want to put it outside where I can't see it. But for now, I'm going to put it outside where I can't see it because I don't know if it really belongs inside the building because it's a water wheel. But at the same time, it's kind of cool looking and I want to be able to see it when it's in action. I am going to put it kind of close to all this stuff here because this is where the bulk of my power is going to be used. And what I might end up doing is kind of swapping some stuff around. I might move my storage over to that side and move the lasers over to this side so that they can also benefit from the power of the water wheel. But for now, all we got to do is figure out where the heck to put this thing and also where the like optimal entry point is for the power lines, which I think is going to be like kind of here. I think we're going to run some power cables in like that. The power cables are going to be a whole different game of themselves to try and make. But for now, let's go ahead and start making ourselves a water wheel. So, what I'm going to do, guys, basically, what I'll do here is I'll kind of show you what they look like for those who don't know. Basically, this is going to be a bit of a pain to make. Basically, if I put down a water wheel, it's pretty big. Boom. That's what a water wheel looks like. And what we've got to do is we've got to get the most out of this water wheel, we've got to have as much water kind of flowing around it as possible. So basically what that means is have water going from there, kind of flowing around and round into the bottom like so. And then we're going to have 1, 2 like that. We have 3 sets of wheels and water pushing it all the way around. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go away. I'm going to clear this tree out. I'm going to build a bit of a frame for this water wheel to kind of show you how we're going to house the water wheel and how the water's going to flow. And I'll be back in a second. And a little while later, we have a bit of a birch monstrosity that looks a little bit like this. Now, not all of these planks are strictly required. I have these ones here just kind of for looks. I'm not 100% a huge fan of the fact that we built it out of birch. I'm not a huge fan of birch wood in particular, but it's the only color of wood that we had, and so for now, it will have to do. So, what we're going to need now is some buckets of water, and unfortunately, it's a little bit of a trek to the nearest body of water over here. But what we're going to do is we're going to grab the water. I apologize for the thunder sounds. Jeez. I'm going to have to turn that down because that is not helping whatsoever. For some reason, why does thunder not come under weather? What is that about? Or does it? Or maybe it does. Okay, let's turn that back up again then. I turned weather down a little bit and it seemed like the thunder was just as loud. So I was assuming that thunder didn't come under weather, but in all fairness, he kind of does. But anyway, what we gotta do is we gotta nerd pull up to the top of this thing and put the water at the top. Now, I'm not too sure 100% if you actually need 3 buckets worth to do this, but I usually do use like 3 solid water source blocks to kind of flow down there like that. And then you'll notice there is a bit of water, a bit of oak there, but you'll notice it does flow down and it flows around and then kind of underneath as well to give like the most effective push on that water wheel. And I think actually it'll probably be quicker if we A, eat a bit of juice, B, don't get killed by this zombie, and C, grab the next bit of water from our unlimited water source out front here next to the pedal apothecary. Also, we do have a gift here from Infernal Ballista. It says, you've been having problems with steel, and he has left us 2 blocks of steel, which usually I don't want people to give me stuff, but steel is a pain in the backside to get. And I did just realize a few minutes ago that we do need a kinetic dynamo in order to make this thing over here. I think it's called a kinetic dynamo. I might be wrong there, but I'm fairly certain it does require steel, so I'm not going to turn down the steel that we have just been given. Instead, we're going to use it to our advantage here, and we're going to have to cut this guy down a little bit to get back up there. But now that we've got 2 blocks of water, we can go ahead and make ourselves an unlimited water source, which is pretty nice and helpful. So we'll put 1 there. I'll then move you there, and then the middle one should just form all on its own. At least I thought it would. Seriously, it's not gonna make an unlimited water source here? Is that not how that's gonna work? What if I do it there and there? Is that gonna... No? Does it have to be like... not terrible? If I put it there, does it work? Yeah, okay. Well, there we go. I'll move that. There we go. We now have a fully functional water wheel. Nice. All we gotta do now is make sure that it doesn't leak. And to do that, we need to kind of go ahead and plug in some holes right there. And there'll probably also be one around the other side as well. If you could just not, that would be fantastic. There we go. And then let's quickly, as quickly as we can, plug that hole right there. Cool. So this is going to start to rotate, and this is going to generate... Oh, no, we didn't do that at all. This is going to rotate, and this is going to generate power. The way that we get the power is, of course, using... Oh, I should say, it's not really generating power right now. It's just moving. The way we generate power is by connecting a dynamo to it, and there is still water flowing everywhere. What the heck? I think if I move that, it won't flow again. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird as this water, but apparently that works just fine. Get out of here, my friend. Get the flipping heck out. Anyway, what we need to make now, once we've dealt with the riffraff, is we need to make ourselves a kinetic dynamo. Yeah, we need to make this guy. And this thing is made using some iron, some steel, some redstone, and then an MV capacitor and an electrum wire coil, which is made using some electrum wire coil, which is made using electrum, as well as an MV capacitor, which is more electrum, more of the treated wood, and some more iron as well. So, a pretty tricky job, but not one that we cannot handle. So, let's head on back inside where it's safe and we are not going to get attacked by all the mobs in the entire world. Let's grab a little bit of the gold and silver that we have. Also, let's kind of get rid of some of this junk that we have hanging around in our inventory because it is not doing us any favors. Also, let's go ahead and grab all that steel. And so, let's get... Oh, please tell me we have some gold. We do have it in our inventory. Good. And then silver we have an absolute ton of as well. Now, how much electrum are we going to need for this thing? We need at least... Oh my gosh, how many of those do we need? We need 8 of those, which means we need 4 sets of these, which means we need 16 electrum for that, plus 2 more for that. That's 18 electrum. Okay, that is fine. That's 9 gold and 9 silver. That should be fairly easy. And thankfully, it is a nice number in terms of... blocks, so we can just pull out 2 blocks of electrum, and that should be fine. As for the rest of this thing, we need some more treated wood, which shouldn't be too big of a deal whatsoever. We can just get rid of this water, pull some more creosote oil out of the coal coke oven, and then go ahead and make some more of the treated wood fairly easily, like so. We'll take you, we'll do that, and we'll make ourselves another 8 treated wood. Cool stuff. Some of those are going to have to be sticks. For this thing, we're going to need 4 sticks worth, which we do have, and we should be pretty much good to go. We do need 1 lead, that's fine. We need a block of redstone, that is fairly easy to do as well. And other than that, we are pretty much good to go. Hopefully we had enough lava in there to actually make this smell. If not, I'm going to be pretty annoyed. I think we might just have enough. We got 35 millibuckets left. Come on. We got the gold in. I'm really hoping we don't run out of lava. We didn't. Good stuff. So... all we gotta do is pull all of that out, and that thing is a little bit slow, but that's fine. Let's go grab that lead ingot real quick. Thank you. And this is actually a lot less painful than I thought it was gonna be. Good. I was a little afraid there that you weren't going to be able to make blocks of electrum for whatever reason, but you 100% can, and we can go ahead and do something like this. Start getting ourselves some of this electrum wire. That gets us 4. We're then going to need 2 more lots of those. Thank you very much. Let's head over here. Let's turn those again into ingots, and let's go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. That takes us up to 8, at which point we can then make this coil. Then we should be able to go ahead and make this guy, at which point we can make ourselves the kinetic dynamo. Nice. Now, as a little bit of a preemptive move here, I'm going to go ahead and start making some of these redstone chipsets, which hopefully won't take too long because we do have quite a bit of power backed up in these survivalist generators. Are actually full, so hopefully they will make pretty quickly. And the reason why I'm doing that is because leadstone energy flux ducts, the things we're going to use to move the power, require 2 redstone chipsets per one of these. So I'm going to let them kind of sit there and do their thing. Hopefully we don't make too many and waste some power and some redstone. But basically what we need to do now is connect this kinetic dynamo to our water wheel, and you kind of have to be a bit picky about the placement because it needs to go down where it's facing away from the wheel. So this could be a bit of a pain, but it kind of needs to go down. Let's see if we can make this work like that, I think. Yeah, you want to make sure that the black side, this like blank side here, is facing outwards, and the other side, that's like a dot on it that you can kind of see in the image, is facing towards the wheel, and then we can go ahead and put down our birchwood again, like so. And now all we need to do is actually run the power lines from that and around to our stuff, which we agreed was going to kind of go through there. So... again, let's head on back inside. We could really do with some faster movement here. Someone did mention something about gravel from Tinker's Construct and faster moving. I haven't tested that out yet, but that sounds interesting. Do we have enough of these? We do not, but that's fine because we do also require, and we've got an Enderman, which is just lovely. We do also require some of those lead plates, and I think 4 should be enough. I think we're definitely going to need more than 1 set of leadstone flux ducts because I don't think 6 is going to be enough, but I think 12 might be. We might need 18 actually now that I think about it. Let's turn those into plates in rolling mode. Hopefully that won't take too long and we don't have much fuel left. Thankfully, we do have mob creeping off, so that didn't kill me and blow up all my machines and just make me cry incessantly, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and eat some apples. Good stuff. Those are moving along pretty slowly, but still not too bad. Even at full speed, 2 lasers is pretty slow. As you can tell by the fact that the color on the lasers there is blue, that means they are running at full speed thanks to the backup power in the survivalist generators. Even with all that, they are still running a bit slow, and they are running out of power pretty quickly as well. That gets us 2 though, which is great. We will then put those in there. I will take all 4, and that should get us enough stuff to start doing our thing. So we do have 1 piece of glass. I will start some more smelting up because I know for a fact that we don't have enough to make 3 sets of leadstone flux ducts. In fact, we have exactly 1 piece of glass, which is just enough to go ahead and make our first set here. Boom. And then we will actually probably go and start setting these up because it looks like this guy over here, that one's already running out of power, which is not good. Let's put that over there. Hopefully that'll speed things up a little bit. Maybe. Oh, it's going to be real slow to get those last 2. Is this going to be, like, enough? Maybe. What we could do, actually, if we were thinking about it, what we could do, there's 2 flipping Endermen here. What we could do is grab both of these, because both of these consume 40 redstone flux per tick to maximum. When they turn blue, they use 40 redstone flux per tick. So what we can do is we can take all of those, we can take all 3, and if we set those up outside, the wheel should be producing about 90 redstone flux per tick. So that should be enough to power both of these at full speed. So this is kind of a good test to see how much we are actually getting in terms of power. Let's just put you guys there, and then put this, I think there should be fine. And then if we do that, that should start to work. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe. And there we go. Okay, so for whatever reason, you want to put down the water wheels onto the kinetic dynamo, not the other way around. You don't want to put the kinetic dynamo on after the water wheels, because for some unknown reason, it doesn't work. So I'm not quite sure what's up with that. I had a lot of issues with this in a single-player testing world, but this is working fine at keeping this thing at full power, which is great. And so what we should be able to do is kind of just sit around here a little bit and get some redstone chipsets. I am going to quickly grab some more wood. I don't know why I'm actively avoiding rubber. It's fine. But if we grab a little bit more oak here, we can go ahead and make ourselves a chest, which we can then put on top of this assembly table, and then it's going to allow it to not just leave stuff on the floor like that, because that's not good. So let's get some of you and do something like this. And boom. Nice. So that gets us 1. The second one should be done any second now. Okay, so I waited for the assembly table to finish making 4 redstone chipsets, so now what we should be able to do is fully hook up our rock crusher and our redstone furnace with power if we go ahead and do something like that. Grab 12 more of these. I did have to go ahead and move the kinetic dynamo from the front to the back. I haven't done any switching around I haven't moved the water wheel since. I might have to pick those back up and put them back down again. Hopefully I do not, and hopefully I have enough wires here. We do. Does that provide power, is the question. The answer may surprise you, because the answer is no, by the looks of things. Okay, that is expected, because like I said before, I didn't move the water wheels. All we gotta do for that is just pick them up, which is a bit of a pain, because it makes a bit of a mess. And also in water takes forever, but once we have them, putting them back down is fairly easy. Make sure they don't despawn or fall in lava, because they're a little bit expensive. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, boom. Oh, come on now. What is this? What is this? Boom. Okay. That should be working fine. That should be producing power. Our redstone furnace should be moving, and things should be happening, and everything should be great. It is! Look at that! The thing has power! Oh my goodness, this is the best day of the whole entire world. Okay, and now the rock crusher is working as well. Some people did recommend that we put them out in this fashion here, because they said that it smelted, or it crushed multiple at a time, but I'm beginning to think that that's not true, because it looks like that only made 2. So I don't think putting them in this fashion here actually does anything. But we are about to find out. It doesn't, so you can actually go ahead and just put them down as a normal stack like that. And you can do the same for all the other stuff as well. Boom. I think it's going to work. Oh, what the heck just happened? Oh, phew, okay. I think it's just going to work from the top left-hand corner onwards, but that's fine. We now have a fully automated, fully renewable way of doubling our ores. That is fantastic. We're a long way off from doing anything like getting a quarry, getting a decent amount of power, or anything like that. But for now, we do have a renewable power source that works. We have the ability to actually do stuff with our assembly table and have it not take years. And we have a way that we can double all of our ores into ingots automatically without having to pump a ton of coal into it. And that is absolutely fantastic. And with that, guys, I'm going to end this episode of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved there. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit like. It really does help out a lot. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.